Hello! Hola! Bonjour! Namaste! Ni hao! I am Puro the Parrot. Welcome to my home, the TransCultural Group TCG Garden. Together, we're going to embark on journeys all around the world, exploring different cultures and festivities. Please come with me. Today, we shall enrich ourselves on the meaning of sacrifice and devotion to Muslims by learning about the festival known as Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha is a festival celebrated by Muslims after Hajj, which is an annual Islamic pilgrimage. It is also known as the Festival of Sacrifice, as it commemorates the sacrifice that Prophet Ibrahim made in the name of God. Eid al-Adha is the second of the two main religious holidays celebrated by Muslims. This festival is just 2 months after Eid al-Fitr, also known as Hari Raya Puasa, the first Muslim festival in the calendar. It falls on the 10th day of Dhu al-Hijjah, the 12th and final month of the Islamic calendar. Dhu al-Hijjah, the name of the month, literally means possessor of the pilgrimage, to signify the pilgrimage Muslims all around the world embark on during this time. In the Gregorian calendar, the date on which the festival is celebrated varies each year. Interestingly, the date on which it is celebrated actually falls 11 days earlier each year, as the Islamic lunar calendar is 11 to 12 days shorter than the solar year that the Gregorian calendar follows. The first 9 days of the month of Dhu al-Hijjah are extremely sacred, as the Islamic scripture, the Quran, designates them as blessed days. Muslims all around the world usually fast during these 9 days, strengthening their devotion to God and cleansing themselves before the day of Eid. Many Muslims also engage in intense worship, performing nightly prayers and reading the Islamic scripture. During these first 10 days, around 3 million Muslims embark on the pilgrimage to Mecca, each year fulfilling Hajj, one of the 5 Islamic pillars. Devout Muslims embark on this pilgrimage at least once in their lifetime, as long as they have the physical and financial means. The Hajj is a demonstration of the solidarity of Muslims and their submission to God. The word Hajj means to intend a journey, which describes both the physical act of the journey and the metaphorical intentions of a pilgrim undertaking it. Guess who's back? Shira the camel. He shall tell you more about the pilgrimage.
Marhaban, my friends. Together, let's discover the tales of a journey to Mecca. The holy city of Mecca, or Makkah, is the destination of this pilgrimage. It's the holiest city in the religion of Islam, as it is the birthplace of Prophet Muhammad, and the site of Prophet Muhammad's first revelation of the Islamic scripture. Over 15 million Muslims visit the city throughout the year, while the non-Muslims are prohibited from entering it. Upon arrival to Mecca, all pilgrims must perform the most famous and important ritual, Tawaf. Pilgrims must visit the Kaaba, a building at the center of Islam's most sacred mosque, Al-Masjid al-Haram in Mecca. The Kaaba is considered the house of God. All pilgrims must walk counterclockwise around the Kaaba 7 times. After Tawaf, Muslims perform Sa'i, walking between the hills of Safa and Marwa 7 times. These hills are also considered extremely holy and are only 100 meters away from Kaaba.
Shira, I heard it's very hot in Mecca, enough to roast a parrot. How do the pilgrims do it?
Yes, Pero. Indeed, it is very hot. In order to ensure all pilgrims, including the elderly, can do it without health concerns, the authority has built an indoor area for the walk between the hills, with plenty of water coolers and air conditioning.
That is good. It makes it more attainable for the elderlies and the young children.
On the 9th day of the month of Hajj, all the pilgrims gather in an open land called Arafat, where they stand in contemplative vigil, asking for forgiveness from God and listening to sermons from Islamic scholars. Lasting from noon through sunset, this is known as standing before God, wufuk. It is said to be the most important prayer a Muslim would make in his or her lifetime. A pilgrim's Hajj would also be considered invalid if they did not spend an afternoon making this prayer. On the 10th day of the month, Abdu al-Hijjah, Eid al-Adha is celebrated by more than 1 billion Muslims all around the world. The previous 9 days of intense worship culminates to this day. This celebration of Eid is begun with special, extended morning prayers, known as Eid Salah. These usually take place in a mosque or in open fields as large communities participate together. Families attend these prayers wearing their newest and nicest clothes. However, similar to daily prayers, certain rituals are performed as usual. One example of such a ritual is wudu, which is the ceremonial washing of certain parts of one's body in preparation for the prayers, or before reading the Islamic scripture. A formal English term for this is ablution. This ritual is said to have stemmed from a saying of Prophet Muhammad. He once said that cleanliness is half of faith, and so to bring this saying to life, the symbolic act of purification through wudu is completed before practicing spiritual activities. Qibla is another important ritual. When Muslims pray during their salat, it is vital to pray in the direction of Kaaba in Mecca, symbolizing unity of all Muslims worldwide. Most mosques contain a wall known as mihrab, which faces Kaaba. Furthermore, in Muslim nations, there are usually designated prayer rooms in hotels, shopping malls, and other such public areas that contain a mihrab, facilitating Qibla. This is to allow Muslims to pray in the right direction during their 5 daily salat. This ritual is continued during Eid prayers. The end of the Eid salat is marked by special sermons known as khutbah by the imam. An imam is a worship leader in a mosque or Muslim community. These figures lead mosque prayers, carry out sermons, and aid all Muslims in strengthening their connection with God. They even help establish and teach in religious schools for children so that young Muslims can understand the principles, pillars, and teachings of Islamic religion. At the end of these prayers, all the Muslims would traditionally embrace and greet one another out of joy and celebration. The greetings differ widely across the world due to variations in language translation, but the most common greeting is Eid Mubarak, which means Blessed Eid, or May your day be blessed. Piero, let's pause for a moment. In the next section, we will look at some of the traditions and food surrounding Eid al-Adha.
Sure, Sira. Meanwhile, Eid Mubarak.